The letter landed softly on Cherry's desk, unnoticed at first. Just another piece of paper among textbooks and notes. He watched from afar as Cherry later returned, settled in, and discovered the letter. Her brows knitted as she read. Confusion turned to irritation. She called her friends, and soon the paper became the center of whispered guesses and playful accusations. From his corner, John absorbed every reaction. Each frown cut deeper than words ever could. Days passed. One afternoon, Cherry stood alone in the corridor. John found himself behind her, courage rising and falling in waves. He hesitated, gathered himself, then stepped forward, only to be overtaken by another boy from a different class who reached her first. John stopped short, watching the space between them close while his own heart fractured in silence. Fate shifted its grip during the class competition. The sharpest minds were chosen, and John and Cherry were paired together. The news sparked a fragile hope in him. Their first study session was tense. John's brilliance dimmed under the weight of his nerves, his words cautious, his presence restless. Cherry noticed the unease, but he buried his truth beneath silence. When the session ended, he left her with a neatly written research note. Alone in her study room, Cherry's eyes drifted back to the forgotten love letter. As she compared it with the research note, recognition struck her like a sudden storm. The handwriting mirrored itself perfectly. At school, the confrontation shattered John's defenses. Shame flooded him, heavy and paralyzing. Unable to carry the moment, Cherry turned away, choosing distance as her shield. She avoided him, and the air between them thickened with unresolved truth. Anne, her closest friend, noticed the change. Concern drew out the story, and reason followed gently behind. Cherry admitted what she had hidden even from herself. Affection restrained by fear. Fear of distraction. Fear of consequences. Fear of choosing love too soon. Anne's counsel was simple and steady. Affection did not have to be a prison. After school one day, Cherry waited. John arrived with an apology ready, but she stopped him before it could fall apart in his mouth. What followed was not hesitation, but surrender. Feelings met feelings, and the quiet love that had struggled to breathe finally found air. From that moment, their hearts walked side by side. Exams passed, and with them the innocence of restraint. Love deepened, crossed boundaries, and left behind a consequence neither had planned for. Pregnancy arrived like a verdict. Cherry's family responded with anger and disappointment. Together they chose the child, choosing responsibility over fear. John carried the truth to his father, standing firm in his intentions. Families met, agreements were made, and though acceptance came slowly, support followed. Cherry was not abandoned. She was held up until new life entered the world. Years rolled on. Distance stretched as John traveled abroad, chasing opportunity with the same determination that once fueled his studies. When he returned, success clung to him like a well-earned crown. His first journey was not to display wealth, but to return home. He drove straight to Cherry's house. Joy erupted at the sight of him, Cherry's smile radiant, their child wide-eyed and whole. Time dissolved in that reunion, all the waiting justified in a single moment. Marriage followed, not as a rescue, but as a fulfillment. Two hearts that had endured fear, separation, and judgment finally rested in commitment. Together, John and Cherry stepped into a life shaped by patience, sacrifice, and enduring love.